when I realized stuff was real is when I'm in a straight jacket, in a van, strapped up, looking out this van with bars on the window, headed to the mental health center. That's when I was like, yo, what in the heck is going on with me?
Everybody, welcome back to the Two Stubborn to Fail podcast. I'm your host, Darren Perkins. We got a real special guest today. He's a professional athlete, a leader, a family man, and still finds time to run a successful home-based business. My brother, Kenny Graham Jr.
What's going on, man?
How you
doing? I'm good, man. How you doing, man?
Man, you know I had to get you on here,
bro. I appreciate it. Look. Everybody, I was somewhere coaching this summer. I was coaching collegiate baseball this summer, and my brother texted me, was like, man, I'm about to start a podcast, and I want to get you on some of the interviews. And I was like, I was sold, man. Like, as soon as he mentioned it, I was excited. You would have thought it was my podcast, how excited I was.
Man, you was probably one of the first people I thought of.
Oh, man.
I had to get you on.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know how long we've known each other, but I do remember when we met. And we actually met through our wives.
Right.
They're besties.
They sure are.
Ever since that night, we clicked. And it's like, it's been a great friendship ever since. And anything that I got going on, I need them there, and vice versa.
Yeah. So it was, man, it was at my mother-in-law house.
Yep.
2014, because me and my wife got married in 2014.
So you better at it. You better at the year than me.
Yeah, so it's 2021 now, so that's what, almost 7 years.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because me and my wife just celebrated 7 years on Monday, on November 1st. And I remember we was in Columbia at my mother-in-law's house. At my mother-in-law's house, and my wife was like, my best friend's coming with a boyfriend. Yeah. I remember you sat on that couch, and I sat on the other couch close to the door. And then, it was just...
We've been rocking
ever since, man. We've been rocking ever since, man. You know, God is good, bro. Got a brother, man. That's all that matters.
Yes, sir. So, speaking of sports, the first thing I wanted to get into, I know for me, well, pretty much every man, little boy, has a dream to play professional sports.
Right.
You know, and, you know, that comes with wanting to play collegiate level sports. I know I didn't really have the skill set. I wanted to do it, but, you know, nobody called, so I didn't go anywhere. Could you explain, like, the feeling of knowing that you're even going to go play collegiate level sports?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna be transparent.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to play collegiate sports. No. I played all sports in high school.
Right.
But my main sport was baseball.
Right.
I played basketball only my senior year of high school.
Dang.
I mean, I was good at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I played rec ball and everything, but it was just I was so involved with baseball. But I remember growing up, man. You know, I'm from a small town called Laurinburg, North Carolina. I know actually Union. Y'all a little bit bigger than us, but
ain't no way.
Y'all a little bit, man. You know, well, we went to high school.
Yeah.
We had, how many middle schools y'all had?
I don't know. Man, ain't many. Maybe 2.
Okay, we had 3. We had 3 middle schools. Okay, we had Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I would say we probably tied.
Okay, we might be tied, right? But I remember though, man, there was a couple of like gyms back in the day that were open where they had Parks and Rec games at. Yeah. Even when I was a young jit, and I mean, my dad even played in those gyms. My dad was basketball phenom, man, and I remember every Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays we used to go hoop. Yeah. And my boys was like, look, man, come hoop with us. You know, I had a god brother. His name is Junior Harrison. He played in the NBA. I'm about to say WNBA. He played in the NBA for about 8 years and then went overseas. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So like I said, and my dad, you know, my dad was in the military. Played basketball for a little bit. He plays pro basketball for 8 years overseas. So basketball was in me, just with baseball anyway. Right. So we used to go hoop and everything, man. And, you know, I'm seeing my older cousins, my god brother, I'm hooping with them. Yeah. And, you know, every single week, as we started playing, it was my junior year of high school. Every week, my skills just started getting better and better to the point where my jump shots, I'm blocking, doing everything. My defense was impeccable.
Yeah.
So I remember my boys was like, yo, KG, you know what I mean? You need to come to the off-season workouts for basketball. Yeah. These boys have been playing basketball since middle school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've been playing school ball since freshman year at a high school.
Right.
So I'm like, man, you know, I'll come out there, but it's guaranteed I'm not gonna make the team because whatever. Make a long story short, man, I'm going to the off-season workouts, bro. And like his name was Coach Compton, man, and he used to run a Princeton offense. I remember he was one of the most smartest coaches I ever heard of met in basketball. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I remember, bro, doing the practice and off-season stuff, and it was my defense. Yeah. And then I played in a little jamboree because the season ain't started yet, so we was doing like football season because I didn't play football that year. So I'm doing the jamborees and stuff against other high schools, other academies and prep schools. And I remember we had the first tryout. And I'm busting my behind for the first tryout. And Coach Compton coming when we working on free throws, he was like, you know you're on the team, right?
First day.
What? I'm on the team?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. He was like, so calm down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bust your behind. Make a long story short, man, just dropping 20, 22 a game as a shooting guard, small forward, bro. And I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I said, when it came to the baseball, I ain't played high school baseball since my sophomore year. Mm. I got cut junior year. Mm. And then senior year, it was very political. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like bumping. So I ran track. Mm. And I played basketball.
Everything but baseball.
Everything but baseball, my senior, especially my senior. You know, your senior year is when you really need to make it, have a plan. Mm-hmm. But the thing was, though, I always played summer league baseball. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I made the All-Stars 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old. I was the man in summer ball. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go play baseball somewhere, but I just don't know where. And what ended up happening was I wanted to go play baseball at East Carolina. Right. All right? Well, my mother went to North Carolina A&T State University, which is an HBCU. You know what I mean? She was a Delta, played softball, graduated summa cum laude, all the accolades. Right. So I remember I used to go to homecoming and stuff as a young jit in Greensboro. And I remember I told my mom I was going to go to ECU because my boys were going there and I was going to be a walk-on. Right. And she was like, no, you're not going to a PWI school. You're going to an HBCU. Yeah. I was like, okay. So I also didn't tell you this. I was in the band, bro.
What?
Oh, I was a beast on the trumpet.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be cocky, but at this moment right now, I'm being cocky. When it came to that trumpet, I was a beast, bro. Like I was a beast on the trumpet to a point where, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was growing up, you could be in the eighth. There's only 3 middle schools. Right. So if you were in an 8th grade band, then you were actually eligible to go to the high school and march in the high school marching band at our high school as an 8th grade. 8th grade. Yep. Wow. So what happened was I went to summer band camp my rising 7th grade year in middle school. Mm-hmm. And I was in band camp and they had the high school students come run band camp with one of the it was at Sycamore Lane Middle School. So their teacher was running band camp and some of the high school kids came. Right. And my trumpet skills was just so impressive to these high school kids. Mm-hmm. One of the kids, his name was James. I remember him. His name was James. He was a senior at the high school. And he was like, Kenny, you ever thought about being in a marching band? I'm like, no. Like, first of all, bro, I haven't even turned 12 years old yet. Yeah. I'm literally still 11. Right. And then next thing you know, he was like, you should be in a marching band. Like, your trumpet skills are good. And I'm like, as a 7th grader, it's not heard of. Right. So I talked it over with my mother and my father. And, they're kind of like, well, Boo, my mom called me Boo. Well, Boo, you only 11. Yeah. You're going to be in a band with 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, even 19-year-olds. But then once some of my older first cousins, they were in a marching band because they went to high school and they called me Little Kenny. So they was like, we got Little Kenny, blah, blah, blah. So make a long story short, man, I was in a marching band at 7th grade. Man. And then in the 8th grade, I'm in a marching band. So by the time I got to the high school, it's my 3rd year in marching band. So I feel like a junior in marching band, even though I'm only a freshman.
So what was your first love?
Man, music.
Yeah.
that trumpet, bro. Because I knew by me growing up with my mother and father, and my mother being an Aggie, I knew I was gonna go. I knew I was gonna go to A&T to be in a marching band. That was my thing. Like
that was the goal.
What? That was the goal. Like I was just good at sports. But my goal was to go to North Carolina A&T,
get on that band,
get on that marching band, play that trumpet. And then they messed around and made Drumline. Even though Drumline had nothing to do with A&T, it was a made-up school, but still, it gave you a mind frame of what a black college marching band was like. I'm like, oh, this is about to be on and popping, bro. And then next thing you know, as I started getting older in high school, my years in marching band got older. So think about it. As a senior in high school, I've been in a high school marching band for like 6 years.
You seasoned.
I'm seasoned to the point where I can teach how to march. I don't even need to come to band camp. You know what I mean? And it just, once I started getting good at baseball, I was like, okay, you know what? Let's put the trumpet down, go to baseball. So like I said, I got cut, bro, and then went to North Carolina A&T State University. I ended up going to A&T, okay? Because we had our senior year.
Go Aggies.
Yes, sir, go Aggies. Aggie pride. We had our senior year, bro, and it was in symphonic band. Like I said, the reason why I say I was that dude on the trumpet, I was first chair in the freshman advanced class. I was the only sophomore trumpet player in the symphonic class. Then I was first chair as a junior. And I was first chair as a senior in the trumpet. You know what I mean? In the concert band, symphonic band. So we had our senior year, and what we do, we had our spring concert. You know, spring concert, they announced all the seniors and stuff because the last year. And I remember, bro, I put this on my 5-year-old daughter. I did not feel like this application to A&T. I stood up, and you know, my government name is Kenneth. So I stood up, and Mr. Cook, that was our band director, he said, Kenneth Lyle Graham II, please stand up. So I stood up, and I'm waving, you know what I mean? And he said he will be attending North Carolina A&T State University for computer engineering. Bro, I looked so dumbfounded, but I played it off. And I'm like, I did not feel like an application to A&T, nor did I know that I got accepted.
You got grandfathered in.
My mom. Next thing you know, literally, I graduated high school. I'm going to the third orientation at A&T, and I'm moving to A&T in August. Best decision my mom ever made for me, right? You know what I mean? But like I said, bro, I had no idea that I was going to go to college and play ball up until literally my senior year, when I felt like I was kind of blackballed, you know what I mean, from my high school baseball team, just because of how political it is. Like, you know, bro. Your parents don't have the bread like that, man.
You're not getting on the field.
You're not getting on the field. And my dad actually went through it too in high school. It was to the point where my dad kind of regretted that he named me after him. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
He thought that because of the fact that I had his name, a lot of his hatred and stuff that came towards him, how good he was, it was trickling down on me. But like I said, bro, I got to A&T, and I just kept practicing, and just kept staying, you know what I'm saying? I kept praying and just asking God, like, I need some direction. I really want to do this. The next thing you know, there was a brother named George Hines Jr. He was on the baseball team at A&T. He was an upperclassman. And I remember me and my cousin Jerry, who was walking through campus, he was freshman. And he was like, y'all boys from North Carolina, country, man. He black, or he was country. He said, y'all boys from North Carolina too? I was like, yeah, we're from Longmire, fam. He was like, he said, man, you look like an athlete. I was like, yeah, bro, I play baseball. He was like, well, shoot, we got a tryout next Thursday. Come through. Went to the tryout, bro. Rest of history from there, man. History from there.
So now you're on the team. You making some traction on the team. At what point did you realize that it's a possibility of pro?
I'm gonna be real with you. I was headed home for Thanksgiving break, and I got a phone call. Nope, I'm gonna back up. I had a boy, one of my boys, his dad played for the New York Yankees. And he was a Hall of Fame and everything. And he came to our workouts one day, and he just saw me. He was like, it's something special about you. And I'm left-handed. You know what I mean? He was just like, it's something special about you. It's something about you, man. And he was like, if you really work hard, I remember my coach said this too. He was like, if you really work hard at this, you're going to have a bright future at baseball. You're going to make somebody happy. You're going to make a lot of money. And after that, man, I started taking my training and stuff serious, taking it to a whole nother level. You know, I'm watching Ken Griffey Jr., you know what I mean? That's my idol. Ricky Henderson, old school players, Andrew Jones, because I was a center fielder.
Right.
So anybody who played outfield at that level, they was phenomenal at it. That's who I was watching. You know what I mean? And like I said, I played summer ball, collegiate summer ball in Greensboro, man, and it was on there, man. It was on.
So how did that feel? Like to be able to go pro?
It felt amazing. The thing was, I had a journey though to get to that level because I didn't finish up playing at A&T just because I was chasing this dream.
Right.
So what happened was at A&T, like I said, we being transparent, bro. I'm coming from a small town.
Right.
Okay, you know, I'm used to going to school 7:20 in the morning in high school.
Right.
I get to college, no mom and dad telling me what to do is all on you. So like I said, I'm a computer engineering major. You know what I mean? Like I said, I finished up there. I just didn't finish playing ball there.
Right.
But you know, I'm an engineering major, so math had to be a strong point. So I remember freshman year, my mom filled out my schedule. Freshman year, I had 8 o'clock in the morning class, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays for calculus. His name was Dr. E. Morgan. He was from France. He was very flamboyant.
Yeah.
So he had that flamboyant swag with a French accent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when he spoke English, you could not understand this man. But the one thing I didn't understand was he said, "I just want to let you know I do not take roll." When he said that,
it was a rap.
It was a rap. Because when I went to A&T, bro, Thursday nights for college nights, we had over 20 clubs to choose from.
Yeah.
And then in the radius and the vicinity, we had North Carolina A&T. Right across the street, we had Bennett College, which was an all-girls school. 5 minutes up the road, you in UNCG. About 10 more minutes, you at Greensboro College, which is a Division III school. Then 15 minutes up the street from there, you at Gifford College, which is a Division III school.
Man, y'all was lit.
About 20 minutes west, you in High Point University. Go a little bit more, 20 minutes, you in Winston-Salem, Winston-Salem State, and Wake Forest. Now you go up north, 25, 30 minutes, you at Elon University. In Burlington, that's where Steph Curry's sister played volleyball at. And keep going about another 30-minute ride, you in Duke University, UNC Chapel Hill, Durham with North Carolina Central, which is another HBCU. 20 minutes from there, you in Raleigh. North Carolina State, you know what I'm saying? St. Augustine, which is an HBCU. Shaw University, which is an HBCU. So whatever. Then, an hour and 30 minutes to the east, you in Fayetteville with Fayetteville State. What I'm saying is, to say all of that, within an hour and a half radius, right? Hour and a half, whatever word you want to use, we had all these college towns. You know what I'm saying? To choose from. So Thursday nights, you got folks coming from UNC, Fayetteville, stuff to hang out at Greensboro. Or what we would do, we go to UNC Chapel Hill, the Tar Heels. I'm a Tar Heel fan too. Go to UNC Chapel Hill, hang out on Franklin Street. You know what I'm saying? So Thursday night,
that 8 o'clock class wasn't.
Oh, Friday. No, we didn't. Unless we had an exam. I'm gonna be honest with you. You didn't see me in that Friday class. And at that time, bro, I had a high school sweetheart, man. So I would call my dad, like, "Hey, Dad," so that was my only class on Fridays. So I'm like, "Dad, man, I be at school about 10:30. My dad pulled up. He had a little old school BMW. He used to blast on what's that song by Snoop Dogg?
Oh yeah.
My dad used to blast that joint, bro. You know, early 2000, man. Cause I graduated high school in '07. And then I was a Pretty Ricky fan. So he'll blast that Pretty Ricky for me, pick me up from school, take me back home for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I just spend some time with my high school sweetheart, go back to school on Sunday. As I kept doing that, it became a habit. A bad habit. Because now,
because you missed every Friday.
Because I missed every Friday except for exams. Now I'm missing valuable information. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to taking these big exams and finals,
you know what was
next thing you know, brother, I went home for Christmas break. My mom picked me up from school. Me and my mom went somewhere. My dad and my little sister, and North Carolina A&T calls me. And I hung up the phone, bro. And when I got off the phone, my whole, you get a hard swallow. My mom was like, "What's wrong, boo?" I was like, "Mom, I just got put on academic probation." She was like, "What?" And I told him. And at that time, I didn't have an athletic scholarship, but I was on scholarship. My dad was military. My dad did 37 years in the Army. So I was on a GI 35 bill scholarship where I'm getting $1,500 a month just for keeping a 2.5 GPA, bro.
Dang.
So every Friday when I was in school on campus, I'm at the mall. You get what I'm saying? I'm living my best life as a freshman in college, making bread, and I'm not even on an athletic scholarship.
No job.
Right, no job. I don't even have to pay this money back.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't get a financial aid check, but why? I don't need one. Because my room, my books, tuition, everything is paid for. And then I get $1,500 a month just for keeping a 2.5 GPA in college. So that's why when you have all people like, yo, you know, why you don't have so many Jordans and stuff like that now? I did all that in college. I'm at 4 seasons ball, bro. Every week I was at 4 seasons ball. That's what cool you would be. You know what I mean? So it was just crazy. I say that to say, man, I had my journey was I got put on academic probation, which killed my shot of playing in a D1 program for baseball. So what I ended up having to do to get myself back on track, I had to enroll at a community college just for a couple of classes while I was still going to A&T.
So you did like the camera.
Yep, I did the camera. So the camera, exactly right. So I went with GTCC, Gifford Tech, which is the biggest community college in the state of North Carolina. Biggest community college, bro. And I was half-time. I was full-time in the fall there. No, I was part-time in the fall there, full-time at A&T. And then I remember I would go to the batting center, you know what I mean? And the owner of the batting center was like, "You're kidding me. Where you playing at?" I told him my story. He was like, "Give me 5 minutes." I'm like, "Where you gotta go?" He go back to the front. Coach Allen Ashkenazi, bro. One of the coolest coaches you ever meet in your life. And he was like, "What do you about to do after this?" I was like, "Nothing, go back to my apartment." He said, "No, you're not." He said, "Go to Deep River Park in Jamestown, North Carolina, right outside of the highway, like 15 minutes up the street." I said, "Okay." He said, "When you get there, there's a head baseball coach of GTCC. I didn't even know they had a baseball team." He said, "The head coach is John Barrow. I called and recommended you, man. Go." So now I got a second chance, bro.
That's big.
So I go, and I remember it was like 40 dudes on the team, bro. They all in black practice shirts. I'm in red, you know, baseball jacket, whatever. And I remember my boy Abraham Fernandez said, I told because I was like 6'3", by 230. And Abraham Fernandez said, I told Coach Barrow, if you don't give this man a scholarship today, I'm walking away from the team.
Wow.
And next thing you know, I played at Gifford Tech for 2 seasons, bro.
Vouch for you.
Yeah, I played JUCO ball for 2 seasons. And then that's when I started getting the recognition of going to the next level. So now I got a second chance. You know what I'm saying? So finally, now I'm getting scouts. Left and right, looking at me now. And then what actually put me on the radar was I went to this American Baseball Institute in Clearwater, Florida. I went there, and when I went down there, bro, these were guys who were already drafted, made it to AAA level, you know, minor league ball, even made it to the big leagues, and they got released. You know what I'm saying? I'm going against guys from Latin America, Asia, all them boys. And I was able to hold my own. And that put a lot of international recognition on me. And then, so what happened was, you know, with JUCO, you're going to do 2 years. So what happened now, bro, I'm done with JUCO. I can't go back to D1. If I go back to D1, I have to sit out a full year. I wasn't trying to do it because now I'm getting older in age now. So what I did was I finished up at A&T, my school stuff there. I had Winston-Salem State looking at me. I had Elizabeth City State looking at me. But for some reason, bro, I didn't want to Greensboro. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, even though I didn't finish playing baseball at T, I was still an Aggie at heart because I was in school there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep getting my books and stuff, the education from T. Got my scholarship back from GI 35 bill. I'm living in a gated community. All of that. I'm good now. So what I did was, bro, no lie, I reached out to Greensboro College, the college I just mentioned, which is a Division III school, because I found out I can go right there and play instantly. I don't have to sit out. You know what I'm saying? And the plan was just to play, get free up out of it. Right. So I remember I played summer league ball that summer, did my thing, bro. I batted I had like a 425 batting average, which had like 62 home runs or something. I was just killing that summer, bro. I was just the man. And I kind of had like a chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? So I remember I reached out to the head coach of the baseball team. He didn't email me. Right. And then I waited a week and a half. And something was like, send this man your film. So I had a homegirl, man. Her name was Kimmy Sinclair, and she worked at 102 Jams, which is a big radio station there. But she was a videographer too. So what I did was we were just so tight, man. She used to come in every single summer league game I played in and recorded every game. I played in 80 games.
Oh wow! So she made you a highlight.
She came every game. Even my JUCO games, and made me a dope highlight. It's on YouTube to this day. Made me a dope highlight. I sent that highlight video to Coach Ager at Greensboro College. I kid you not, he called me 10 minutes later and said, "Can you come visit the campus?" When they go visit the campus, bro, I played that 1 year with them. Next thing you know, I'm coming home for Thanksgiving. I get a call from Chicago White Sox. Like, look, we put you in the draft. Oh man, and it was just.
How was that feeling though?
Man, it was goosebumps. You know what I mean? Because like I done been through a journey. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've been through a journey, and it was like now it's an opportunity for me to. My thing was I came from the hood, so it was just like okay, I got an opportunity to make it out, and then take care of my mom, dad, take care of my family, and be an example for my partners as in the hood. You know what I mean? So it was a very surreal feeling, and then I was here. Right. And then once the baseball season started, I was here. Because I kid you not, after I got that phone call, I let the head coach know about that phone call. I don't know if it was a vendetta towards me or what. I played 10 games that season. 10 games. Wow. 10 games. Not lying, I played 10 games that season. And I don't know why. Yeah. But every game that I did play, I was killing it. I remember we went to Florida, Winter Haven, and played in the spring break tournament. It was like a week and a half long, bro. I didn't play the first game, didn't play the second game. I'm like, man, what the heck is going on? You know what I'm saying? I was the only person on the squad hitting home runs. And I, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, in the fall season, we use wood bats. I had 32 home runs in the fall with wood bats. Nobody else was doing that. I'm like, man, what's up? I'm throwing 110 miles an hour from the outfield. I ran a 6'3", 60-yard dash, was fast, had some crap in baseball. And I'm like, what is going on, bro? So then I come in the third game in the fourth inning. I kid you not. I come in to play center field, bro. And I go 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a home run. I make a diving catch in center field. Then there was a ball that was hitting in the gap. The runner on first was trying to go first or third on me. I throw this joke out at third base. So I knew I was about to start. I knew I was about to start the fourth game. You know what I mean? We're going to be transparent, bro. Coach came with me. Getting ready to start the fourth game, I'm looking at the lineup. Even though I bus driver was excited, like Kenny, I'm so glad you in. I'm looking at the lineup, man. I'm like, I don't know I got to start this fourth game. Yeah. Coach come to me and say, now you know the only reason why I wanted you on this team, he did just like this. Yeah. Just to be a safety in there. See, before I came to this school, no scouts was coming to look at this program. Right. But once I got there, now I'm not even cocky, I'm being real. Once I got there, now all the scouts are coming. So when we had our scout day, even though only 6 of us went to scout day and 42 people on the team, there was 27 scouts at our scout day. 27 scouts. But they only came because they heard about me and also my connection to American baseball and all that. And they seen me with JUCO ball. So I brought the scouts. So by me bringing the scouts, it brought publicity to Greensboro College baseball program, and it made the head coach look good because now, dang, coaches, he got scouts.
He know what he doing.
You know what I'm saying? So making a long story short, bro, he come to me and he was like, there was what's this kid name? The kid name was Matt Burger. I love that kid to death, bro. He was their center fielder. And before I got there, he had tore his ACL. And then he was one of the small percentages of baseball players to get Petelit in the 90s. So it was very rough for him. So basically, making a long story short, bro, he was saying that I was a safety net for Matt. So I looked at it and he said, you know what? He said, you need to focus on getting ready to go pro or go to indie ball, go play independent ball somewhere. And I asked him, so basically what you were saying to me is, coach, unless Matt jump off a bridge and die or something like that, I'm not seeing the field. He was like, unfortunately, no, Kenny. He said, but that doesn't take away from the game. He's like, you're the best ball player we have. Like, you're the only one that's going to go to the next level. But it was weird to me. So with that being said, because my numbers was looking good on paper, my stats, that's what. So Mr. Alice of the White Sox called me 2 days before the draft and was like, Kenny, I was looking at your numbers. You didn't play a lot. I said, I told him what coach said. He was like, oh, wow, I'm sorry. He said, let me see what I can still do. And make a long story short, the draft come, bro. I ain't getting my name ain't called. So that demolished me. And then I found out I had another year eligibility to play college ball because I didn't play no games. So I go back to Greensboro College. Head coach leave. Now the assistant, now the pitching coach is the head coach. But he had the same vendetta towards me. So make a long story short, I didn't believe in fall. I don't know what I got my engineering, bro. Like I got connections. Right. It's just I wanted to get my name called in the draft. So I left out to Cali, bro. And then you know what I mean? And I was an undrafted free agent. And after that, like, bro, I was a little cocky. I was done. I got nothing to say to me. I'm done with y'all, brother, man. So, like I said, at the end of the day, it was still, even though my journey was different than, me having my name called, draft, whatever the case may be, it's still the fact that it's like, wow, I'm about to get paid for support. Right. There's a small percentage of people.
That's a dream.
Right. Who cannot say they're going to be paid for playing the sport that they love, bro. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. It was great, though.
You a pro. What was the transition? I mean, I kind of know a little bit of the story about, Nat and how you met her. But what was that like to that transition from, that to becoming a married man?
Man, you know what? To be honest with you, it wasn't difficult, but at the same time, it was to the point where it's not about you no more. You know what I mean? Because everybody know my wife can do. That's it. You know what I mean? Her name tattooed on me. I got a picture on my reels. Like that's my best friend. Like everybody know I know that. You know what I mean? But what happened was my transition was because of the fact that I was 22 years old when I met her. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fresh out of college, playing pro ball. I just came back from Dominican Republic, living my best life as a professional athlete. Honestly, single. Had my bachelor pad in North Carolina still. I didn't move back here with my parents because I was still getting that military check from school. So I'm good. But I would have to say it wasn't really a difficult transition because I knew for a fact how much I love women. And Dominican Republic exposed that. So it's like, okay, if I live a single life as a professional athlete, I'm going to get into trouble. Yeah. Okay? I'm going to have about 50, 11 kids running around. I'm just being transparent. And my mother and father, they're about to celebrate 32 years of marriage December the 10th. That's big. Right. So I always model my mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? No, they don't have a perfect marriage. You know what I'm saying? But I'm named after my dad, so I want to be just like my dad. Right. But the one thing I did say was, I want to be married just like my mom and dad, but I want to be a better husband than my dad is to my mom. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with my dad, but it's like, okay, my dad raised me to be my own man. So my challenge is, okay, I see you as a husband, but since you raised me, I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you work. I'm about to show you what you did. Like you raised a man. So now I'm about to be a better husband than you. Like I said, it wasn't no saying that my dad was bad. It's just, you raised me, so now I'm about to show you what you done. And it was just like that, bro. It was like, when I met Natalie, man, she didn't even know I played football. I was in grad school when I met Natalie. She didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah, she was going through her first marriage and stuff, man. And I used to, Nat, I had a girlfriend. You know what I mean? When I met Nat, bro, and I got my heart broken. Nat was like my best friend. That was my best friend, dog. And you know what I'm saying? I just remember she schooled me because she's older. You know, she's 7 or 8 age difference.
She know the game.
Right, she know the game. So she schooled me, and she told me, she was like, me and you not gonna make it. She was like, I'm just a crutch. Because she used to call herself Lady Luck for me. And I remember my next season, you know what I'm saying, my Woodback company that I was signed to, I would get Lady Luck engraved on my back. That was her. And I would have 11, you know what I'm saying? I love her, whatever. And I just remember, man, the more she and I became best friends, the more games she put me in. And then for her, I've always had older women. You know what I mean? Because I got an older soul. So I always had older women. But the game changer for her was she gave me a book. She sent me a book. I was still in North Carolina. She was here in Georgia. She sent me a book entitled Mind Power of the 21st Century. And she sent me a brown leather journal. And she wrote in it, and she was like, you know, I need you to document everything about your life in this journey. Dreams, stuff like that. I still have this journal to this day. This was back in 2013. That journey is filled. I never showed her this, but that journey is filled up with everything, bro. And I just remember, I just kept falling in love with her. And like I said, she wasn't ready to, you know, have a relationship because she was getting out of her marriage. And I just told her, I gave her an ultimatum because I moved to Palm Springs, California to play ball. And I just gave her an ultimatum. Look, I'm 22 years old, 23 years old. If I go to Cali and I meet somebody and they catch my attention, it's a rap. Right. And I'm saying that like I'm about to for her. Like I'm just saying like because I know what I can do for this. Even though I'm young, and on top of that, she has 3 kids. That didn't bother me because I knew, just like I said, I knew how my mom and dad raised me, but I knew how my dad raised me as a man. So I was ready to take on this responsibility, but I told her, if you don't pull the trigger on you telling me how much you really love me, because I know. But if you don't pull that trigger, when I go to Cali and I meet somebody else and live my best life, that's it. We're just gonna be best friends. Right. Wishing me you did it. And I remember right before I moved to Cali, bro. I was in Cali. And I remember February 11th, 2014, people in my condo called me at the front desk and was like, you got your package. And what happened was I go get the package, man, and I remember when I first met Nat, she had a couture. So when she used to write letters, she would take the Q-tips, serenade them in the couture, put them in the envelope, and she sent my letters. So I smelled her scent when I read the letters. Oh, man. So she did the same thing, sent me a card and a rose gold Michael Kors watch. And in that card, it said, today, February 11th, let's make it official. Oh, man. So now we girlfriend and boyfriend. You know what I mean? February 11th, 2014. You know, it's a 3-hour time difference from the East Coast to West Coast. So it's 10 o'clock on the West Coast. I'm looking at my phone now. I get the request for, do you want to be in a relationship with Natalie Nicole or whatever? I'm like, this thing is real, bro. And then from there, like I said, it was like a dream come true. It was like, yo, I found the woman of my dreams who I can share my dreams with. And she gave me 3 kids already. You know what I mean? Because at that time, Madison was 1.5, Morgan was 5, J. Ron was 14.
Time flies.
Right, because Madison's 10, Morgan's 14, J. Ron's 22, and then we have some family together with 5. You know what I'm saying? Time flew, bro. But it was just... And then the thing is, bro, I proposed, we became girlfriend and boyfriend 2014 in February. I met her in person September the 29th, 2013. Okay? Came down here to spend some time with her. I proposed to her in June 2014. We got married in November 2014. So we've only been married for as long as we've known each other. It's crazy, but like I said, that's right. That's what I'm saying. That's what made my transition easy. Because you said it. Once you know, you know. You don't have to be. I'm not judging nobody. But my thing is, I don't feel like you have to be engaged with somebody for 6-7 years to figure out if you want to marry this person. You know what I'm saying? Now I know there's financial things and stuff like that, but with me, I knew for a fact that even though I'm 22, 23 years old, this is the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And like I said, we been rocking 7 years strong.
Man,
I get on her nerves though, but it's all good.
A little bit of a transparency moment for me. I did not have that absolute feeling with my wife. Love her to death. We've been married for 4 years now.
Yep. I was at the wedding.
But I can say I drug my feet like a NFL wide receiver, trying to get that.
Right.
I had a lot of growing up to do.
Of course.
I didn't have that same model in the house.
Okay.
So for me, my dad was in prison since I was baby.
Okay.
So I really didn't have that male figure, especially to show me how to treat a woman.
Understood.
And every marriage that I did witness wasn't great. So for me, marriage wasn't anywhere on the radar. We met in college, so brokest time for most people, it's the brokest time of their life. But yeah, I just had a whole lot of growing up to do. She stuck it out. We fell in love, and the rest is history.
Bro, you said a key thing though, as a man.
Yeah.
Growing up, maturity. Because I'm gonna be real with you, transparent moment for me too. If I could go back, I would have waited a little bit before I asked my wife to marry me. Just because how young I was. I had a lot of growing up to do, even with how to be a bonus parent. I don't even call myself a step parent.
Oh no,
I call myself a bonus.
Ain't no tax,
tax
break for that.
Right, because at the end of the day, we don't pay no step bills. We paying bonus bills now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't call them my kids. I call them my bonus kids. You know what I'm saying? But even when it came to learning how to be a father to my bonus kids, like I said, Madison was 1.5.
Right.
So it was easy with her. She's a baby. You know what I'm saying? Morgan was 5. So, you know, she's been around her dad and her mom and seen her mom and dad together. Then now she sees her mom and dad not together. Now there's a lot of confusion with hers because it's like, okay, you know, are you the reason? Right. You the reason my mom and dad not together? But even though that wasn't the case, that's what she was being fed. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn how to mature through that. I had to learn how to, even with J. Ron was a 14-year-old, 13-year-old teenage boy. At that time, I'm 23 years old. My little sister is just a year younger than J. Ron. So certain stuff that he was doing, it didn't seem like a father-son relationship. It's like, little joke, I want to smack the taste out of you. Like, what you doing, dog? Like, it's like a little brother type. So even though to this day, he's 22, I mean, of course, he respect me as a man in the house. But what I did, and I was stern on him, but I didn't want to overstep either. You know what I'm saying? Because of my age gap. So I wanted to be a point where I can still be like I'm easy to converse with, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, okay, that's still my mom's husband. That's still, my bonus dad. That's still the man in the house. But we had a relationship where it's like, okay, all right, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But to the point, like, all right, at the end of the day, hey, KG, you know what I'm saying? You do this, do that. So, but when you said it, bro, maturing, growing up, and then
that's the most important part.
And then the last key thing, man, you said was sticking it out. Yeah. That your wife stuck it out.
She stuck it out.
Same thing with me. Bro, that's they call it 7-year itch. I'm getting up to 7 years because of my immaturity and stuff that I had to learn. Man, it was real. Yeah, it was real. And like I said, wifey stuck it out. And now, like I said, bro, it's a beautiful, man. It's beautiful,
man. So now that we've gotten to, through the rough parts of marriage, kind of go back a little bit because, in being married is when you both started entrepreneurship.
Yeah, man.
What was that transition like?
Bro, it was dope. I'm lying like a crap. I'm lying like a mug. I'm gonna be real with you. It was difficult at first because the reason why we got into entrepreneurship is because I got hurt playing ball.
Right.
So now, Natalie was working corporate America. And this is one thing that I loved about my wife. My wife is so independent.
Right.
So she didn't give a rat's behind about that I had money. You know what I mean? Because once I got hurt, I was ousted. You feel what I'm saying? So, and at the end of the day, I had it before I met her. But once I met her, we got married and stuff. I got hurt a year later. So she really didn't experience the Kenny Graham Jr. with money. You get what I'm saying? She didn't experience that. But one thing I love about her, though, she's very independent. You know what I mean? And I'm actually happy that she didn't start working corporate at that time when I wanted her to stop because it would have been worse. We had no income. So, you know what I mean? Me, 25 years old, I got my knee torn. You know what I mean? Let me focus on that and get myself healthy and go back to playing my career. So when it came to entrepreneurship, first thing first is entrepreneurship was never in my mindset growing up. You know what I mean? I'm going to be an athlete. You know what I mean? So with that being said, in the beginning, it was rough because I was so stubborn. Too stubborn there, right? I was extremely stubborn to the entrepreneurship because let me focus on ball, let me get myself together. And then wifey was just like, look, I'm tired of driving an hour and a half to work, sitting in traffic lights, we gotta do something else. Because she was only bringing in $2,200 a month for a household of 5, and that's before we made Savannah. So now, cars and stuff like that, man. So it was difficult. But then once she started tapping into it, our time together. She and our time started shortening. I'm gonna cancel, bro. I'm for you. You hear me? I'm for you. You just heard her talking about my love. I need quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, give you name it. I need all that, right? So now it's like, the thing is, I'm coming from a bachelor pad to myself. Right. Now I'm coming into a family with my woman that quick. So now I was so used to being alone in my own crib, 4 walls, in an apartment. Now I'm not alone. I got my woman with me. So I'm loving spending all this quality time. So when she would go to work, because she's going to work already. Then when she coming home, she's working on entrepreneurship. So when she's going to work and the kids go to school, it's just me in the crib. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when she gets home now, I'm ready to have some time with her. Now she's focused on business things of that nature. But at the end of the day, bro, once I got off my high horse, got out of let my ego down, that transition, once I finally said, you know what, let's do it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, there's no I matter. I mean, it is I, but that word letter. But you get what I'm saying? It's a hundred, bro. There's no, you cannot be self-married. There's no self-marriage. So I was like, you know what? I always heard happy wife, happy life. Right. So I say, you know what, let's do it. You know what I mean? And then it was rough in the beginning because we learning. Right. But once we got this thing and then we started seeing, how dope we can be as a couple in business together. You know what I mean? And we seeing, other couples not idolize us, but we're a role model. Right. You know what I mean? Goals to these other couples, even older couples. Right. You know what I mean? That's what I love. It wasn't the fact that we did this bread. Right. It's the fact that we can use our marriage as goals and to show other people out there that you can be in business with your spouse. That's your best friend, and y'all can. You know what I'm saying? And there's hope for love for people who don't believe in love anymore. I wanted this entrepreneurship allowed us to be a platform and a vessel to show people that true love exists, and you can make money by being an entrepreneur, husband and wife couple at the same time.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And we can't let it get lost that it was rough at first, but I think the consistency that you guys showed paid off in the end.
Yeah.
How could you speak to how important it was for you to stay consistent and work the business when you didn't see the results that you see now?
Man, I'm glad you asked that. And one thing, I have a spiritual advisor, Pastor Mojo, and he calls it 3 C's of success. Consistency, commitment, And crap. You gotta stay consistent. You gotta stay committed. I done got for if he watches, he gonna fuss me out.
Nah, that's okay. We get it.
Okay, good. So anyway, bro. All right, we'll edit out. So anyway, so what happened was just staying consistent. The consistency thing for me, honestly, bro, was just seeing the happiness of my wife.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That made it worth
That made it worth it because now my wife is cool with not having to get up, going to work every morning. You know what I'm saying? And then she's cool with now being able to spend time with kids. She's cool now with being able to not stress about, bills and financial stuff. That way she can have a healthy pregnancy with Savannah. So once I started seeing that, and then I started seeing my wife tapping into her purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you're doing. My wife is tapped into her purpose, which is why, stuff is happening the way it is for her on a successful level when it comes to income-wise and stuff. Because she found out her purpose. And me, bro, like I said, that's my best friend. So now I'm seeing my best friend shine. It's like, okay, what you need me to do next? So we were like yin and yang. My wife is an introvert.
Right.
I have a gift of gab because I have a lot of public speaking. So when it came to entrepreneurship, working this business, she would do stuff social media. Me, I'm doing stuff offline. And that's how we just
yin and yang.
Yes, sir, man. Like I said, it was like I said, consistent. Then at the end of the day, when you look at your spouse, when you look at the kids, you know what I'm saying? You look at the kids and then you really don't realize how many people are really depending on you. Right. Until you change your focus up, change your priorities. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like let's say main thing kids, bro. It was like okay, I see my kids this. You know what I mean? My wife is good now. Let's have it to where our kids can be straight. When it came to different type of medical stuff, even putting them in extracurricular things and not having to worry about financial burden. You know what I mean? It was amazing, bro. So you like I said, if you're new to entrepreneurship, it's difficult in the beginning because you're not gonna have support like you should expect. You're definitely not gonna have support in your family. No. You know what I mean?
Close friends.
Absolutely. When we first started this business, first thing I heard was it's a scam, blah blah. And one thing about me, man, is like that's you kind of insulting me as a person to think that I'm going to get into something that's a scam. If you know me my whole life, I've never done anything shady. Right. You know what I mean?
So why would I start?
Right. It's just the fact that everybody's so used to being this 9 to 5 corporate mentality when somebody's doing something that you actually got to work for yourself. And it's a possibility where you may not have that stability next week. Like you had this week or whatever. Now it's a scam. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like I said, bro. But once I decided to be like, you know what, my wife uses acronym MAD, make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Get mad, make a decision. So we started getting mad at the people that was doubting us, that didn't support us. So we made a decision after we got mad to say, you know what, we're gonna show you. And we just kept it going, man. We had more strangers who became our business partners and family in the business, and now our family and friends are starting to get it going now. But at the end of the day, that wave almost, that train almost about to be too fast to jump on. Right. But hey, we can go in all day on that, bro. Yeah. You gotta stay consistent though. You have to, because at the end of the day, you spend so much time. Like think about the people that work these corporate jobs. You work your behind off to make the CEO richer. Okay? While you still riding your Honda, while you still riding your Honda or your Pinto or whatever, and you trying to get your car serviced and stuff, but you working your behind off every day, not even taking your sick days like that. The CEO go buy a new private jet. The CEO go buy a Maybach, buy a Bentley, and you still struggle. So a lot of times it's like, yo, put in your mind frame, okay, I can work this hard to make somebody else rich. Why can't I work this hard to make my own self wealth and be free.
I
don't even look at money as rich. I look at freedom. Look at the freedom and time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look how much time we doing this. You know what I mean? Like we don't even know what time it is. We just doing it. You don't even know what time we're doing it. Right? You know what I mean? Like freedom, bro. It's free. I don't have to punch an alarm clock. You know what I mean? Even though I don't have to punch an alarm clock, all my bills are taken care of. You know, our 5-year-old is in one of the best private schools in this zip code. We live in the richest zip code in Georgia. Freedom. Move how we want to, bro. Just because we stay consistent.
That's big. That's real.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, you talk about freedom. What about? I know you're gonna talk a lot about this topic, but how important is mental health in all of that space?
Man, you know me too well. That's how you say you know I'm talking about it. Mental health is important. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and let's be transparent. The one thing I want to change in the black community, if you go see a therapist, you're not crazy. Right. There's nothing wrong with speaking to somebody who is equipped in that field to help you with your mental problems. Right. I'm gonna be real with you guys, bro. What? I just finished therapy a couple of months ago. Just because I got to a point where now it's like, okay, I'm good. But mental health is important because if your mental health is not right, you can damage the people that love you. You can damage the people that live with you. That
saying they say hurt people.
You can damage the ones that love and care about you. They had nothing to do with what's going on. Yeah, they had nothing to do with trauma. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's why I'm being transparent. My mental health almost cost me my marriage. You know what I'm saying? I was so depressed because of the fact that once I got healed from baseball, nobody gave me a shot anymore. It was like, oh, you got hurt. So what can you really do? But then I'm looking at other athletes who got domestic violence charges, drug charges, DUI charges. They get multi-million-dollar contracts over and over again. I have no off-the-field issues. I don't party. I don't club. You know what I mean? I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a family man. And that's it. And I work my behind off, but y'all treat me like a 2-week piece of old meat. Oh man, what?
So that was definitely a low.
Yeah, that was a low. So then, because what happened was my wife, she started rising in this, you know what I'm saying? She got a dance for herself now. And then now instead of it, it's an ego thing, it's a man thing. Right. Instead of it looking at it like, okay, that's my wife, that bread comes to the house. I looked at it as a thing. I'm just Natalie Cole Graham's husband now. Who am I? I'm KJ, I'm daddy, and I'm just Natalie Cole Graham's husband. You know what I'm saying? And to the point, bro, like I hit my bottom dog. I went and bought me some 18-karat gold grills, bottom and top. To the point, my wife was like, "Do not wear those around me." But I'm like, man, I'm a country boy. I'm a country hood boy, so you married me this way. I went and bought me expensive Cuban link. Change, why you couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Went tattoo crazy, whatever, all because I was trying to create an image, just to stroke my mental, bro. To the point, man, everything just got so bad to the point where I literally found myself on the bridge, just ready to end it all, bro. Until I started hearing my daughter's voice in my head, and then I was remember making that phone call to my mom and dad. Because at that point, my wife was just like, Negro, you gotta go figure this out on your own. Because she wasn't equipped to understand depression. You know what I'm saying?
And it's important to mention at this point in your life, money is not an issue.
No.
Money is not an issue. So this is completely just not being happy.
Absolutely.
And I mean that speaks to the point of people needing to know what makes them happy, because you can chase something all day long, and when you get it, you still are unfulfilled.
Right. And I think when it comes to that, going through what I've been going through, my spiritual journey, you know what I mean, my therapy and all that. there was one thing. My spiritual advisor, he made me watch a sermon on YouTube with Dr. Miles Monroe. One of the, he's from Bahamian, but passed away. And I watched one of his sermons, and it was the purpose. And he basically gave a whole breakdown that until somebody really find out their purpose in life, this is why people not really happy. Because you don't know what your purpose is. Because at the end of the day, a professional athlete is playing professional sport is what I did. It's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, if you're in a position, that's what you did. That's not who you are. You know what I mean? That's what you did. So with that being said, even though I played ball and everything, that was great. I still didn't know what my purpose was on this earth. I felt like I woke up every day just to be a dad, just to be a great husband, and be a business person with my wife. But what was my purpose on earth? And it was like we've been married 7 years. For like 2 years of our marriage, I didn't know my purpose on earth. I didn't know what am I here for? Because it felt routine every day. It was just like, what am I here for? And it was to the point where I didn't want to go to hell because as an African American man,
we don't do therapy.
We don't do therapy, and then we get looked at bad or get called weak when we seek out for help. So it was just like, you know what, bumping. I'm just gonna sweep everything under the rug. But when you keep sweeping stuff under the rug, bro, it don't do nothing piling up. And I remember once I hit that point, my brother-in-law, man, he came to me. He was like, KJ. You're always so the life of the party. You kept everybody else afloat. He said, I never imagined that you was even going through it. I said, yeah. I said, because at the end of the day, sometimes we don't know how to reach out for help.
That's all the time.
Because when we do, a lot of the times the response is not the response that we need or we want to hear. Because, you know, when I told my wife, I'm going through depression or whatever, her response at that time was, figure it out. Oh, okay. You're not depressed.
Well, think about how we were raised, and not just you and I, but as black men, you fall down over there, you got to man up. Don't cry.
Right.
You know? Right. So, in our head, that's all we hear.
Yep.
Is man
up.
So we put everything on our shoulders, and it's hard. It's hard when everything ain't going well, or even when it is going well, when you're unfulfilled and you have no idea who to turn to. That's a hard feeling.
Yep, because with me, I felt like the person I needed to turn to, I could turn to my wife. That's my best friend. So it's like when I turned to her, and at that time, I didn't know that she didn't understand depression. Because my wife is not built that way. You know my wife. She's not built. Okay, she barely cries. Okay. So it was like rough on me. So I go to the next person. My dad. My dad's amazing man.
You know he
right. And like I said, my dad beat cancer in 05. My dad was the baby of his brothers and sisters. At the age of 13, my dad walked into my grandmother's room and found my grandmother dead on her floor. My dad's oldest brother, my Uncle Harold, which is the reason why I'm into baseball. My Uncle Harold got drafted to play professional baseball, but never got to go because his ex-wife had him shot up and killed. But my dad was in the other room of the apartment and witnessed my uncle get killed.
So he got a lot of trouble.
Right. And then my dad fought in 2 wars and seen some stuff. So I was like, if anybody who understand me, it's gonna be my dad. So I would call my mom and stuff. She was like, call your dad. I'm like, tell dad to call. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, you can call your dad yourself. I'm like, Dad, Mom, y'all live in the same house. Haven't given the phone. But she was like, no, I'll call your dad on your own. So when I started calling my dad, that's my Superman. To me, that's my Superman. And when Superman would just tell me, suck it up, figure it out. I'm like, dang, I don't know what else to do. Right. Because my wife is telling me the same thing. My dad is telling me. But I don't want to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't even an option.
They ain't even an option at this point. So what I just started doing, I started venting to other people. Anybody who wanted to listen to me, man, I'm pretty. There's so many people now who know my dark stuff. Like, and I look back at it now. I appreciate them for being in ear, but it's like I shouldn't even been to you because you don't. You know what I'm saying? You won't even. But it's just at that particular moment, bro. Whoever felt like whoever showed some type of concern to me, I was gravitating. I was like a loose lips, bro. But like I said, man, it's very important though, because at the end of the day, you can't take care of nobody if you can't take care of yourself. So if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not gonna be able to give 100% to nobody else. And what's crazy is I learned that from my wife. She said that to me during my moments. You know what I mean? I'm glad she said it because, you know what I mean? And it's true. At the end of the day, yeah, I'm giving her the love. I'm doing my wife loves and acting service, so I'm doing everything for her. I'm doing everything for the kids, but it was just my energy. My energy was off to the point where me and my wife had a conversation, bro, and I just start crying for no reason. I'm always angry. You know what I mean? Shoot, I got up to our 4-year wedding anniversary. We went to Thailand. If you look at those pictures, bro, I was 280 pounds. Everybody was like, oh, man, KG, you big. Yeah, I'm big, but it was unhealthy big. I was sad big, bro. It was crazy. And, you know, like I said, I went to the mental institution. And at that time, like I said, wifey wasn't even talking to me. She was like, I'm at a point in my life right now where I don't know how to handle, I don't know how to deal with this. So I love you enough to let you go real quick. Don't do stupid stuff, but I love you enough to let you go and figure this out on your own. So when I got to the mental institution, I called her and told her I was in there. I didn't think they was gonna keep me. So I'm like, I called her. She was like, I said, hey, babe. She was like, that ain't my name right now. And I was like, hey, Natalie. She's like, what you want? I said, if they release me today, can you come get me? She said, no. You gotta get yourself out of this. And then I appreciate it now because it made me really buckle down and go deep into my roots. You know what I'm saying? Even to stuff when I was a young jit. Like stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that happened to me as a kid. To heal all of that, to let everything go. And the most important thing I did, though, bro, I gave my life to God. So once I did that, you know what I mean? But when I went to that mental institution, bro, they transformed me from the hospital to the mental institution. When I realized stuff was real is when I'm in a straitjacket, in a van, strapped up, looking out this van with bars on the window, headed to the mental health center. That's when I was like, yo, what in the heck is going on with me? And I was in there for 9 days, bro. Nobody knew. Nobody really knew. Only people that knew was my in-laws and my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and a couple of guys on the team, and my parents. Nobody else knew. In my spiritual life, nobody else knew that I was in there. I was in the mental institute, bro. But that's something that I don't regret. I'm actually grateful for it that I went in there.
You were able to heal.
And I got to see different type of mental health. Mental health is not just depression. No. Mental health is drug abuse, alcoholism, you know what I'm saying? If you've been raped, trauma, PTSD, schizophrenia, bro, I saw all of that. And for the fact that those guys was like, you're a professional athlete, but not once did you act like you was better than us. That's when I had a lot of respect for those guys. They respected me more because I was transparent and humble enough to say, look, just because of what I do does not justify that I'm better than you guys. I'm in here just like y'all, man. I need help. And I stuck through it. I got out. I go down to Tampa, Florida for like 2 months that summer. Got with my spiritual advisor. You know what I'm saying? The wifey, she was like, look, focus on you. Focus on you. And sometimes that's stuff you don't want to hear. No. When you're going through mental stuff, the last thing you want to hear from your spouse, focus on you. Because now you got all this stuff playing in your head. So when I tell you, bro, the first week of me being in Tampa was the most difficult thing ever. Was to just focus on me. But once I got through it, and I'm starting to see it, like, okay, look, Kenny, you healing. Look at this. I feel more pure. You know what I'm saying? And then certain stuff like, you know, when wifey would just text me and check on me, even my conversations, my verbiage was just a different level, and she could feel it and see it. And then it's like, it was my 31st. I'm 32. It was my 31st birthday, bro. My 31st birthday. She was like, "Let's go on a trip." She said, "I'll be ready to see you on your 31st birthday." We I put us a trip together. That was my first time seeing her since May of my episode. From May to July the 7th. No, July the 5th. My birthday was July the 7th. But I flew her in July the 5th. And whatever, to Siesta Keys. But from May the 19th up until then, bro, that was my first time seeing her and having a full conversation with her at all. And ever since then, it's been just
bliss.
Beautiful. Yeah, bliss, bro. It's been beautiful, man.
Well, I can say I'm glad that you're back.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it.
And better than ever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's good. What I always like to wrap my podcast up with is a too stubborn to fail moment. One moment, and I know you probably have a couple, but one moment where you felt as though against all odds, you just refused to quit and came out the other side stronger.
Being a pro athlete. Okay. I was too stubborn to just not be a pro athlete anymore. And what I did was, maybe my calling wasn't in baseball anymore as an athlete. So what did I do? I trained my behind off, and I played arena football. And then when COVID hit, I was like, you know what? I'm done because of COVID. But I was like, you know what? Me being an athlete's not done, because now I can use my mental health story as somebody else's story. Yeah. You know what I mean? As an encouragement. Right. So what I did was I went back to baseball last year. Okay? But I didn't play because I felt like God didn't want me to play no more. But because I was too stubborn to fail like that, it landed me a big time coaching job where I was coaching that this summer, collegiate summer league. I was the head coach. Yeah. The youngest head coach out there. I'm not even a college coach. Right. But I was the head coach of a collegiate summer league team down in Port St. Lucie, Florida this summer, where I was able to get 5 kids scholarships.
That's big.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I was too stubborn to fail. And now I'm still too stubborn to fail, because what I'm doing now, I'm training the box. Got my first fight coming up in 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so now it's like, I think what my too stubborn to fail thing is, I will be able to touch somebody, you know what I mean, with my story. Right. So I feel like, and one thing my spiritual advisor told me, that I got a spiritual advisor, and then I got like a spiritual mother and father, Bishop Barnes and Mother Barnes in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we met through business. You know what I mean? Through the planned marketing business. Me and my wife were doing. And one thing they was telling me was that, all of them told me, is that you don't know where God is going to take you. Right. You know what I mean? For you to touch and help people. They said, so it may be different. You know what I mean? It may be uncomfortable, because I never saw myself boxing. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm at it every single day. But my trainer and guys that's in my camp and everything, I'm influencing them with mental health, how to carry yourself as a man. And they see how much I love my wife and kids. Oh, that's like the most beautifulest thing for them. And at the same time, they see in the lifestyle. Right. Of how me and my wife are when we go eat and stuff like that. So, and taking all these trips and everything. So I feel like everything that I'm doing now, because I was too stubborn to fail at being a professional athlete, even though it wasn't baseball anymore, it's opened up different doors for me to step into, you know what I mean, for that season. Because who knows, I may not box next year. Right. But right now, that's the season I'm in right now. Because there's certain people who needs to hear my story. And then, you know, I feel like once my job is done with God with that season, the door's going to close. Right. And I'm going to be happy and peaceful about it. Right. And then it's going to be, who knows, I might be a chef. Hey. You know what I mean? Next. You know what I mean? Right. But because of the fact that I was too stubborn to fail of being at being a professional athlete, just because they said no, right. Just because my injury was trying to say no, it's landed me more opportunities to touch more lives. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. You know, I say this to say that, and I ain't even going to knock on wood, because I know who I serve. there's really nothing that anybody can say to me or that can happen that's ever gonna put me back in the depression stage. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, I ain't talking about death. I'm just talking about like, you know, everyday life stuff. You know, a car breakdown or whatever the case may be, or you know, I lose a job or something like that. It's not going to bother me anymore because I know who I am now, and I know my purpose on this earth. So it's just like, okay, maybe this door closed. If it's not meant for me to do this door now, I'm gonna be patient, stay with me. I'm gonna enjoy my wife and kids. Then when it's time for me to move, it's time for me to move, bro. That's just what it is, man. 2 stubborn to fail, my brother.
There you have it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's so much that we unpacked in this interview.
I know, man. I know. I got to give the gab. I'm my bad, bro.
No.
My bad. I'm just mad.
This is dope. Dope.
My thing is, bro, like, I'm passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
I am, and I really want to get my story out. Like, I want to get it out to where it's like, look, it's okay.
Oh yeah.
It's okay to hit rock bottom, but it's how you respond to it, how you get back up. Even if you keep falling, but at least you're getting right back up. You're not dead.
Right.
You just failed. And then, like, bro, and I believe with this, man, I've lost so many homeboys literally this year. In the past 5 years, so many homeboys from back home to gun violence. It's like now I have to put my hometown on my back to say that, okay, somebody from Laurinburg, North Carolina, who's from the gutter, has made it out, hit rock bottom, but still carried everything on his back to say, look where I came from.
Right.
And look where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? And then like I said, with marriage and stuff, bro, like just being it's just a blessing, dog, just for God to just use me and my wife to just be vessels and just show other people that true love exists, entrepreneurship exists, freedom is real, time freedom is important, mental health, it's okay to say I have a mental health issue. Right. It's okay. But the thing is, it's okay to go get help too. Yes. It's okay to go get help. And now I'm gonna lead this too. If you are going through mental health stuff and the people that you're surrounded by, they don't understand it. One thing I had to learn was don't fault them for not understanding your mental health. Go to people who go through the same stuff you're going through, so that way you have some people like a support who understand what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? So that way, because I had a very rebellious spirit towards my wife. Right. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, all right, bro, whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, it wasn't her fault that she didn't understand. Right. And it wasn't my fault either. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So there's so much stuff on mental health, man. I want to get out. And then for the people who are in relationships with people who have mental health, because those people don't understand how to deal with mental health people either. Right. So I want to get out and be an advocate for how to, you know what I mean, like how to deal with somebody that's going through mental health. You know what I mean? So that way you won't clash, and it's just so much, bro. We got a lot of stuff we going back.
Oh yeah, you coming back?
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate
you coming back, but what can they follow you?
Oh man, follow me on Instagram, Kenny Graham Jr. Simple. At Kenny Graham Jr. Twitter was big when I was in college, so I haven't been on Twitter since I met my wife. And that was back in 2013. But I've been hearing that Twitter has been popping again. Oh yeah. So
it never died.
Yeah, it never died. So I think I'm gonna get back on Twitter. So when I do, we'll come back and I'll give you my Twitter because I let Twitter go. And then on Facebook, man, Kenny KJ Graham Jr. That's my Facebook. My Facebook page is actually open. I don't have nothing to hide, so it's actually open, man. Like I said, I want the world to see me being a husband. I want the world to see me being a father. I want the world to see me, being an advocate for mental health and helping people. I want the world to see that, man. I don't do it for show. I do it because I really want to help people and just inspire people, man. So Instagram and Facebook, those are the platforms. I don't have Snapchat. I don't have LinkedIn, none of that. Instagram, Facebook, man. You see the raw, uncut, unfiltered Kenny Graham Jr., man.
Well, there you have it. This has been a dope episode. Like we keep saying, we unpacked a lot, and he's definitely gonna come back. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast. I'm your host, Darren Perkins. My guest today was Kenny Graham Jr. and we are signing out.